it's Erica and welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I actually sat in front of the camera and filmed something for you guys, so I'm glad to be back. I'm over here in Kaiden's corner right now, chilling over here. But today is our long-awaited video. It is our interview tips, tricks, and hacks for healthcare professionals. I have told you guys a million bajillion times I was going to film this video and I never got around to it. So finally I was able to sit down and film this video for you guys. Basically, I'm going to be telling you guys all about the interview process, from your attire, first impressions, to some common interview questions and answers. So I hope you guys are super excited. Make sure to hit that red subscribe button and click your push notifications so you'll be notified every time that I upload. See, I lost my words there. But yeah, you'll be notified every time that I upload. So make sure to go ahead and push that little bell over in the corner next to the subscribe button. And let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the way that you dress during your job interview. But this goes for both men and women because men can do some wrong things when it comes to job interviews as well. But I'm going to start off with women, and I'm going to start from the head down to the toe on your do's and don'ts for your job interview. So the first thing that I want to say is everything that I'm saying comes from a less is more approach. So remember that, ladies and men, less is going to be more in this case. Now, if you're going out to be a cosmetologist or something else, then more is good. But for healthcare, less is definitely more. So let's start off with the hair. You want the hair to be pulled back and out of finger's reach. If you're like me and you kind of need something to fiddle with, I remember when I was younger, I used to play with my ears, or I would do little things, and a lot of people like to play with their hair, and now that's kind of been my thing. If you watch some of my videos, I'm playing with my hair. Sometimes you just need something to do. This can be very distracting to the person that's interviewing you. So if you're one of those people who like to play in your hair when you're nervous or just kind of need something to do with your hands, then this isn't the hairstyle for you. You need to make sure that your hair is pulled back, out of the way, out of finger's reach. This is not appropriate for a job interview, by the way. Don't do this. But you want to make sure that your hairstyle is not going to be distracting in any way, shape, or form. Nothing eccentric, nothing that's going to have crazy colors in it or flashy pins and bulbs inside of it. You want the interviewer to be focused on you and all the amazing things that you have to say, and not on something that's in your hair. So make sure that your hairstyles are nice, pulled back, looking good, looking put together, but nothing that's going to be too distracting for the person who's interviewing you, and nothing that you're going to be constantly playing in. So the next thing is going to be our makeup. I actually did a video on how I did my makeup for my interview process. Make sure to check out that video and I'll put it up here somewhere. But there are plenty of makeup tutorials all over YouTube. Look up interview makeup, look up natural makeup, no makeup looks. Those are great ones to look up. You want your makeup looks to be very relaxed. Like I said, if you're going out for cosmetology job, then hey, you want those bold colors on your lips and on your eyelids. But for healthcare, not so much. You kind of, like I said, you want them to be less is more type of approach, and you want them to be focused on you and everything that you have to say and not what's on your face. So no crazy bold colors on your eyelids or on your lips. Make sure everything is nice and natural. Maybe go for a nude lip or something like that. You want it to be put together and you want to be like, wow, like she looks good, but you don't want it to be so overpowering that all they can focus on is your lipstick or your eyelids and things like that. You want them to be focused on you, and like I said, everything, every amazing thing that you have to say, you want them to focus on that. So the next thing is going to be the way that you smell. No perfume, ladies. I know we all love Victoria's Secret. I love Bath & Body Works. I have so many different pumpkin ciders and all types of stuff for the fall, and they smell great, but they can be very distracting for the person who's interviewing you, and you never know who's allergic to what. It's best to just smell clean and fresh and not to have a specific scent. Especially vanilla can give people headaches. You never know what's going on in there. So you want to make sure that you smell good, you took a shower, you smell nice and fresh, but you don't have any specific heavy scents that might be distracting to the person who's interviewing you. Next thing is going to be the way that we dress. Sometimes we can dress a little bit seductive without even trying to, so it's very important to make sure you're a little bit more modest in the way that you dress, because like I said, you want them to be focused on your eyes and everything you have to say and not the boobs, okay? So make sure to cover up the ladies and make sure to cover with a jacket. Don't have an open arm shirts. They're probably not very appropriate, and matter of fact, no, don't do that. They really frown upon that, so make sure not to have open arm shirts. Make sure not to have your chest super exposed. I know some of us might have a larger chest and it's a little bit harder to cover, but do your best. Just make sure it's not like out there, okay? Make sure to cover as much as you can. Try to avoid things that are super form-fitting. You can look good, but just try to avoid things that are just, avoid club wear, okay? If you would wear this at the club, it's probably not appropriate. And this is hack number 1. If you would wear your outfit or your shoes on a date or at the club, it's probably not appropriate. So that is my number one hack, okay? So make sure that you're dressing, like I said, very appropriate, pants not too tight, shirts not too tight or showing too much. And that brings us down to the shoes. No open-toed shoes. And like I said, for my hack number one, if you would wear it to the club or if you would wear it on a date, these shoes are probably not appropriate. If they're high stilettos and you can barely get through the door in them, not appropriate. Open-toed shoes, not appropriate. Make sure that they have a modest heel or no heel at all if that's your thing, because my thing is not to wear heels because, you know, I just don't like it. So I wear flats to my job interview and that's totally fine. But if you're gonna wear a heel, make sure it's a modest height of a heel and that it's not open-toed. And I think I covered everything for women, so let's go ahead and head over to the men's side. Okay, so I'm gonna do the exact same thing for men, starting with the top of their heads down to their feet. So let's go ahead and start off with the hair. Yes, men have to worry about their hair too. If you're gonna have a haircut, make sure that it's freshly shaven or freshly cut and you just went to the barbershop and it looks really good, really put together. Now, if you're a man who has long hair, so you have dreadlocks or braids or you just have long hair, make sure that your hair is pulled back. A lot of professions frown on men having long hair, and that's just what you wanna do with your hair. That's totally fine. Just make sure when your interview is going on that you have your dreadlocks or your braids or whatever it is, just pull back outside of your face and make sure it looks nice and neat and professional. And I think there's no problem with having your hair a specific way outside of work, but just for the job interview process, make sure you just have it pulled back. There's nothing wrong with having that hairstyle. And as far as your face goes, like I said, make sure that you're clean shaven all over, from your head and your face as well. As far as your body goes, make sure that you avoid cologne. Cologne is horrible at job interviews, mostly because it can be so strong and it pretty much takes over an entire room if you have too much on. So just like the ladies, make sure to keep it nice, fresh, and clean, but just get rid of all the cologne and stuff like that. Make sure to stay away from super bold colors when you are dressing and everything. Make sure to put on your suit pants or nice black khakis or khaki colored khakis or whatever you might be wearing. But make sure that everything looks very professional and kind of just relaxed. You want to have nice neutral colors as far as your shirts. You don't want to have bright bold pinks and different colors that will be very distracting from what you have to say in your face and everything like that. And you want to make sure that your pants as well don't have any rips in them or haven't been ironed or anything that might take the attention away from you and everything that you have to say. Same goes with shoes. Don't wear your Nikes to the job interview. Wear some nice dress shoes. If you are going to wear your Nikes, make sure to wear your black Nikes, the all black ones or your all white ones. Make sure to don't come in there with like your Jordans and stuff like that. That draws my attention. When I see a good pair of Jordans, I look at Jordans. So make sure that you're dressing in a way that is not taking the attention away from you and what you have to say, but still looks good and still looks put together. So now let's move on to first impressions. So now you know what to wear, you're dressed good, you're smelling good, you're looking right. Now it's time to go to that interview and it's time to make those first impressions. So number one thing is going to be punctuality. Yes, 5 minutes is great. You want to be 5 minutes early, but 10 minutes early is even better. And it makes a great impression. Lets them know that you're serious and you really want to be here and you're ready for this interview. So make sure you're about 10 minutes early for your interview. Get there, talk to the people you need to talk to, find out where you need to go, and just be present in this interview. The next thing is going to be that magical handshake. When you first get into the interview, everyone tells you about having a strong handshake and good eye contact, and it's very true. When you first walk in the door, you want to give them that strong handshake while making good eye contact with them. Let them know you're about business, and then go ahead and sit down. Make sure that you sit down nice. Don't just plop down in the chair. You're making these good first impressions, people, so make sure to keep that in mind. Don't just get in there, shake that hand, look in other places, and pop in the chair. We have stuff to get done today, so we're going to shake that hand, give them some eye contact, sit down, and proceed with the interview. Next thing is going to be to never, ever, ever chew gum or do anything that's distracting during your interview. Yes, I had a mint on my way there, wanted to make sure my breath was all fresh and everything, but it was gone out of my mouth in that 10-minute time frame before I went into the interview. So if you're going to chew gum or chew a mint or anything like that, make sure it's out of your mouth before you hit that interviewer's office, okay? So make sure that you don't have any type of gum or anything like that. Make sure that you're very polite and respectful when you get in there. I was never from a yes ma'am, no ma'am household, but if that's your prerogative, go in there and say yes ma'am, no ma'am. But for me, yes, no, thank you, please, say nice and respectful things. Show them that you're a respectful person, that you'll get along with your other colleagues and people that you'll be working with, and I think they'll really enjoy that. Silence your cell phones, people. You never know when a call is gonna happen, when a text message is gonna come through, and it's loud, and it's embarrassing, and it is just not a good look in a job interview. So if you're like me and you like to have your cell phone with you at all times because you never know what's popping off in this world, make sure that you have your cell phone silenced, turn it off, put it away. If you want to leave it in your car, that's cool. If you want to put it in your pocket, guys, that is awesome. Just make sure that there is no chance it'll go off during this interview because it will leave a bad taste in their mouth. So now it's finally time for the part you guys have all been waiting for, some common interview questions and answers. So let's go ahead.